Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is not about any cooking uh, stuff, but it's just a chit chat video where I just want to share with you guys about the books that I have read and just let you know if you are also interested in reading these books, then you should please go ahead and get them because I thoroughly enjoyed these books and I hope that you will also enjoy these books. And just full disclosure, I was never into reading, or I have not read a lot of books while I was growing up. I probably would have just read a couple of books. Maybe I think I just read Who Moved My Cheese or Jonathan Siegel when I was in my school. Other than that, I probably would have not read a lot of books while I was growing up. But recently, I had a lot of time, so I decided to do something more than just watching Netflix or cooking, or like I just wanted to invest into myself and just grow as a person. And reading really widen up your perspective, and you get to witness a lot of stuff which you have not done before. Like if you start reading, you will have different thoughts in your mind and you will learn how different people have tackled different problems. And there I can't emphasize enough, and you probably might be also knowing it yourself, that like books are immortal, like they never die. Like you will find books from so many centuries old, and there's something very unique in each book. Like if you start reading those books, you will go through a journey, and when you go through the journey, you grow as a person yourself. So I hope the books that I'm going to share today would help you. These are not very thick books, so if you want to start reading those, I don't think it will take a lot of your time. So without any further ado, let me show you the first book that I ordered, which completely changed my reading game. Because after reading this book, I bought a lot of books and I started reading. So this is Hygge, and I have also made a video on this book, so I will also share a link somewhere here. But it's a very good and feel good book. Like I would say, it's about how Danish people are considered as the most happiest people on in Europe, and why are they happy. So it's a very fun read, and it probably took me around 2 to 3 days on an average to complete this small book. It's a very small book, and I think if you just give 2 to 3 hours every day, then you would be able to complete this in 2 to 3 days. Otherwise, a week is enough if you are reading like half an hour. And I would highly recommend to start with this book because it's a very fun loving and like very feel good factor book. So the next book on my list is Ikigai. I think you might have also heard about this book. It's about why some people live more than other people on the planet, and what is their purpose of life, and why people get up every day, and what makes their life more fulfilling. So as I was mentioning to you guys, this book is about centennials, people who live more than 100 years of age. There are 5 places on planet Earth where people actually live more than 100 years. And in this book, Hector Garcia and Francis Morales, who has written this book, they went to actually Okinawa, and they conducted surveys of why these people are more happier, and what made them live more than 100 years. So it's a good learning experience for us. And basically the lessons that I have learned from this book is that if you have a guided purpose of your life, or if you really know what you're doing and you enjoy that thing, then you never get retired, and you continue to do that even after your retirement. And when you are in a process, or when you're in your flow, then you tend to enjoy your life more. And I think you must have also had that experience where you're doing something and you feel like the time is lost, or you don't know where the time went. So it's about those experiences, and then it's about finding your real purpose in life. and what would make your life more meaningful than others. So it's a very wonderful read, and I would highly recommend this book if you haven't read this one. So the next book, which is a very small book, it's about it's by Anything You Want by Derek Sivers, and as you can see, it's a very small book. Probably you can finish this book in 1 to 2 hours if you want to read it in one go. And it's about a company, CD Baby, which was formed in 1997. And the author here actually describes that how you can find a gap in the market, and you can like the concept of CD Baby actually started when he was trying to sell his CDs online in 1997, and there was no buyer for individual music composers, so he was not able to sell his product. But then he decided to learn coding, and he started putting his CDs online, and eventually a lot of his friends also reached him, and they asked him to sell their CDs, and that is how CD Baby was born in 1997, and then it was sold for approximately, I think, 40 million in 2007. So what was his experience, and why he created this company, and how he got the chance to meet Steve Jobs once in 2005, and what was his experience. And it's a very delightful read, and it is divided into 40 lessons, like there are like 40 pages, and this book is like only 84 pages long, so it's a very small book. So if you want to read it, it's a very good book, and it just talks about how you can put your customer first, how you can keep your goal in your mind, and how you should do something to achieve happiness rather than just selling it for money. So it's a good, delightful read. So I will highly recommend this book. And then I have another book, which is a very small book called Show Your Work by Austin Klein. There's another book which is also very famous, Deal Like an Artist, which I haven't read, but that's also a very good bestseller from this author. So this book is just about why you should not hide your work, and why you should share your work with the world, and what advantages you could get from that. All of us have second thoughts while or before sharing anything on Instagram or Facebook, but what is the benefit of sharing, and why people should share their work? So if you are into creating content, and if you go through these thoughts, then I would highly recommend this book. It really helped me to go through a lot of my own anxiety, and to understand why and what I want to do. So please go ahead and read this book if you're interested in doing such kind of work. And then I think you must have also heard about this book. This is also another bestseller. It's about the subtle art of not giving a F by Mark Mason. And this book is actually so this book is actually a practical guidebook. Like people always tell you that you should be happy, and how you should achieve happiness, and what you should do to maximize your productivity, but nobody tells you that you can't be happy all the time, or you can't be productive all the time, and it's okay to feel low. So there are a lot of small lessons in this books, or small insights that you would think otherwise, but your myth would be broken in this book. So I don't think I need to focus more on this book, because you will hear a lot about this book online, and you might have also heard about this book. This is a very good bestseller in the recent years. So go ahead and please read this book, and you will know it for yourself. So the next book that I have for you guys is Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. So I was not actually aware of Jay Shetty, and I recently got to know about him like 4 or 5 months back. And I know that he's a very famous personality on YouTube, and he has his own podcast, On Purpose, and he had been in the industry for probably 3 or 4 years. But I really liked the simplicity of this book. The messages that were told in this book were they resonated. I would say there's nothing new that I have learned from this, because being an Indian, and being grown in a family where you have been taught a lot of these values from beginning. I could relate to the things that were mentioned here, but living in India, being brought up in India, I think there were a lot of stuff that I already knew, like how giving or how helping others can actually give you a fulfilling purpose for yourself. But in case you are not aware, or if you want to just understand yourself, I would highly recommend this book. But personally, I enjoyed this book, but there was nothing too much new that I learned from this book. My next two books are my personal favorites, so I have saved them for the last. One book which I thoroughly enjoyed and I learned a lot from that book was Atomic Habits by James Clear. And this is a moderately thick book, but you might be able to finish this book in 1 to 2 weeks. I was able to finish this book in probably 8 to 10 days, and I thoroughly enjoyed this book. When I started reading this book, it was very hard for me to keep this down. There were so many small lessons and so many small things that you will take away from this book, and basically how habits are formed, what you can do to change your habits, and how you should show up yourself every day and not break your sequence if you're trying to form a habit. There are so many good lessons from this book, so I will highly recommend this book to everybody. And my last book, which I have just finished yesterday, and I thoroughly enjoyed that book, was Becoming by Michelle Obama. So I can't emphasize enough how much I enjoyed this book, because it's about a lady which I hardly knew about. I knew Michelle through like publicly, but I never knew her personally. And after reading this book, I realized that how down to earth she is, and how much of a person, like a real normal person she is, and she has the same anxiety as we do. There are so many lessons for mothers, there are so many lessons for girls, there are so many lessons for people of color, and there are so many lessons for how you should grow as a person, or how you should grow as a woman. So I cannot emphasize enough how much I thoroughly enjoyed this book, and how much I have started loving Michelle Obama. So please go ahead and read this book, because I am sure you're gonna love the little bit of insights from White House, or what goes into White House, or how her life has formed, and how much of a normal person she was before becoming Michelle Obama. So please go ahead and read this book. I would highly recommend this book. And the next three books that I have, actually four that I have for you, are like something that I have not finished completely, but something that I am cherishing bits by bit as I am incorporating them into my life. So first one is Ayurveda Beginner's Guide. It's a very good book. It talks about the basic principles of Ayurveda, Kapha, Pitta, and Vata, and it has other recipes at the back. So if you are a beginner in Ayurveda like I am, I would highly recommend this book. It's a very simple book to read. You can just scroll through the pages and read bits by bit, so you don't have to read it in one go. So it's a good book for anybody who is interested in learning more about Ayurveda. And my last three books are different. Like I have heard a lot about these books, so I have ordered them, but I haven't completely finished these books. I'm reading them bits by bits, because I want to learn a lot and understand these books. So these are text heavy books, or something that you would require to stop and incorporate or understand and then move forward. So you can take your own pace while in reading these books, and few of these are very famous, so you must have already heard about those. So my first book in this category is Sapiens. It's a very famous book, and it's about the journey of humankind, and there are so many things that are shared in this book that will be really shocking, or you would say, oh wow, that happened, or really. So like those were my reactions to some of the incidents that were shared. If you are interested in learning about yourselves, then please go ahead and read this book. And it's a heavy book, so you can take your time in reading this book. And this book, my second book, is something that I have heard about so much in the last 10 years. And I did get this book and I started reading, but it wasn't something that I was able to readily grasp. Also, I'm taking my time in finishing this book, because I think there are a lot of practical stuff that I should be incorporating in my day-to-day life before finishing this book. So this is The 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss, and it's a very famous book, another famous book. And he has another book called The Tool of Titan, which is also very famous. So I'm probably gonna order that one after finishing this one. But I guess I'm enjoying this book, but I'm just taking my time because I just want to understand it and incorporate it in my life as I'm reading it. And my last book in this category is Start With Why by Simon Sinek. So this book is not new in the tech industry. There is a very famous TED Talk by Simon Sinek which got viral a few years back, and a lot of the points that are shared in this book is also shared in that TED Talk. So if you are interested to know about more of this book, I would say just Google or search on YouTube about Start With Why, and you might be able to know a lot about this book. And if you are further interested in reading about this book, then you can order this book. And I'm just keeping this for the last so that I can actually finish other topics and I can read it when I am interested, like more into digging into this book. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please let me know in the comment section below which book you would like to start reading next, or which book you have already read. Or if you have any recommendations for me, please let me know in the comment section below, like which book I should buy and start reading next. I will leave a link to all of these books in the description box below. So in case if you are interested in reading, then you can purchase your own copy and start reading. So I hope you all are doing well and good and staying indoors as much as possible and staying healthy. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I wish to bring more videos like this in the future. So until next time, bye bye and take care.